dear children, welcome back to our chemistry class. Today's topic is displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. AB plus C to form CB plus A. CB plus A. Listen here. This C is most reactive element. Okay, most reactive element. This C displaces A. Okay, C displaces A from this compound. AB is a compound. Okay, AB is a compound. Listen here. This C displaces A from AB to form CB and A. Isn't it? അതായത് എ ബിയും പ്ലസ് സിയും കമ്പൈൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഈ സി എയിനെ എടുത്ത് മാറ്റി അവിടെ വന്നിട്ട് ഈ കോമ്പൗണ്ടിലേക്ക് കയറി അങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് സി ബിയും എയും ഫോം ചെയ്യും. ഓക്കെ, സോ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ഡിസ്പ്ലേസ്മെന്റ് റിയാക്ഷൻ? Displacement reaction, a reaction in which most reactive element, okay, most reactive element or most reactive metal displaces less reactive element from a compound, less reactive element from a compound. Okay, this type of reaction is called displacement reaction. Is it clear? A reaction in which most reactive element displaces less reactive element from the compound. This reaction is called what? Displacement reaction. For example, zinc react with copper sulfate. Zinc react with copper sulfate. Okay, here zinc is most reactive element than copper. Okay, chemically zinc is most reactive element than copper. So this most reactive element zinc displaces the copper. Displaces the copper. So copper element is formed and here zinc is joined here to form zinc sulfate. ZnSO4. Is it clear? Here copper sulfate is a blue color solution. If the zinc is added to them, at that time what we observe? We observe white colorless solution is formed. Colorless solution is formed and brown, reddish brown substance is deposited under that solution. Okay, what is the color of copper? Reddish brown or pink color. Okay, reddish brown or pink color is the color of copper. Is it clear now, dear children? So zinc is react with the copper sulfate solution. What do you observe? This blue color solution is fade into colorless and reddish brown substances is deposited or under the solution. Is it clear? Next, iron and copper sulfate. Okay, iron pieces is deposited into there or dropped into the copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate's color is blue solution. This iron pieces is mixed with that or react with the copper sulfate solution to form iron sulfate. Here, this iron is most reactive element than copper. Okay, most reactive element than copper. So this iron displaces the copper and to form the new product iron sulfate. This color is green color. What do you observe? That is green solution is formed. Okay, that is iron sulfate. So iron sulfate and copper, what is the color of copper? That is reddish brown. Okay, so iron is react with the copper sulfate. Okay, so here iron is most reactive element than the copper. It is react with the copper sulfate or it displaces. Okay, iron displaces the copper to form iron sulfate. That is ferrous sulfate and copper. Okay, what is the color of copper? Reddish brown. Next is zinc. Zinc is very active metal. The zinc react with the dilute acids only. Okay, zinc react with the dilute acids. Example of dilute acids: dilute nitric acid, dilute hydrochloric acid, dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, so zinc react with the HCl. It is diluted. Okay, dilute HCl. Zinc react with the HCl. Here zinc is most reactive element. So zinc displaces less reactive element of this hydrogen from that compound. Okay, so zinc displaces hydrogen from that compound. So hydrogen gas is released. Okay, hydrogen gas is released and zinc is join here, so to form zinc chloride. Okay, zinc valency 2. What is the valency of zinc? 2. So we should write under the subscript of chlorine. Okay, zinc react with HCl to form zinc chloride and hydrogen. Here zinc displaces hydrogen from that compound. Here chlorine and hydrogen number is 2 is the, so product side 2 is there in left side 1, so we should multiply it by 2 on the left side of that HCl. This is balanced equation. Okay, so zinc react with HCl to form zinc chloride and hydrogen. Here which gas is released? That is hydrogen gas. That is, which sound is formed? Pop sound is formed. Okay, another example, that is zinc react with H2SO4 dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, this is dilute sulfuric acid to form. Here zinc displaces hydrogen. Zinc displaces hydrogen gas. Okay, and zinc is joined here to form zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate. Okay, clear now? Zinc displaces hydrogen from the dilute acids. Is it clear now? And same way, most reactive element, that is sodium and potassium, they react with the water. Sodium and potassium displaces the hydrogen from the water. So sodium react with the water. This water, how we can split H plus and OH minus. Okay, water is split into two, H plus and OH minus. So sodium displaces the hydrogen. Sodium displaces the hydrogen from that water compound. Is it clear? Sodium displaces the hydrogen from that compound. Okay, water compound. Here water we can write, how we can write H plus and OH minus. This H plus and OH minus combine to form here water. Okay, so sodium displaces the hydrogen gas. Hydrogen is a diatomic molecule. We should write H2. Okay, then balance, what is the OH? So sodium is a positive, OH is negative. So sodium and OH combine to form sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Clear now, dear children? Then balance the equation. That your duty. You must balance that equation. Okay, same way, potassium react with the water. Here also water is split into, what are they? H plus and OH minus. H plus and OH minus. Potassium displaces hydrogen from that compound. Potassium displaces hydrogen from that compound. So hydrogen gas is released. Which sound is what? Pop sound. And potassium combined with that OH minus to form potassium hydroxide. Here, most reactive element, potassium and sodium, they react with the water. Then only they can replace or displace the hydrogen. Is it clear now, dear children? Next, how we can remove or displaces. Most reactive non-metal displaces less reactive non-metal. We know where is non-metal, that is on the 17th group. Okay, so for example, potassium bromide is react with the chlorine. Potassium bromide is react with the chlorine. This chlorine is most reactive non-metal. Chlorine is most reactive non-metal. This chlorine displaces less reactive non-metal. Okay, most reactive non-metal displaces less reactive non-metal. Here, KCl and bromine is formed. Okay, bromine and chlorine, that is halogen family, that is 17th group. Okay, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, they are diatomic molecules. So we should write Br2. Okay, so from that potassium bromide, this chlorine is a most reactive non-metal. This most reactive non-metal displaces less reactive non-metal bromine. Is it clear? So form potassium chloride and a bromine. So what is displacement reaction? A reaction in which most reactive non-metal displaces less reactive non-metal from a compound. That type of reaction is called, what is that? Displacement reaction.